Hi everyone, my name is Dimitri and welcome back to DimitriTube. Today I'm going to be doing something a little different for y'all. I'm going to be putting the you back in YouTube. I got a story time for all of you. I took a trip to New York City earlier this month and I'm going to tell you all about it. And as always, if you're enjoying my videos, please go ahead and pound that like button, pound that subscribe button, and ring that notification bell. I'm a growing YouTuber and the likes and subscribes really help me out. So let's dive in and get started. Hey everyone, so today I am heading to New York City. And currently I am dropping off my dog at the dog sitter. And I just have a couple more errands before I head to the bus. Come on, sweetiekins, we gotta go. She's walking me. Oh, hey. Okay, so it is 1:50 and I think there's a bus that leaves at 2. I'm gonna try to make that bus. If not, I'm gonna be waiting like an hour. So I have to pee so bad. So I am just so excited to be off of that bus. It was kind of a long ride because of the traffic. So I arrived in New York City on Tuesday the 31st. After I got there, I met up with my friend Sean and I also met up with my friend Walter. We bar hopped a bit, but that was about it. It was a Tuesday night. There wasn't too much going on and I was kind of tired from the bus ride, so I didn't want to do too much. So we were in Manhattan and I was staying with my friend Walter in Brooklyn. So to get to the subway, we literally went right past Times Square and I got to do a little bit of the touristy thing. And of course, I had to catch some video in Times Square. Dude, definitely. Not recording.
We're on our way over to 42nd Street. We're gonna catch the subway over to Brooklyn. If they can go, why can't I go?
Oh yeah, you're right. She had a baby.
Woman is pushing a baby.
Come on.
Now we can't go. Over to Bed-Stuy.
Wait, should we go that way?
For 1 o'clock in the morning, it's still really crowded.
It's Times Square. I'm trying to have people like me for my personality, not for these things.
Again, personality keeps them, but the titties get them in the door.
Why are we having this conversation? Like right now, or what? I'm sweating. Like, look at this. It is so hot down here. Okay, so when I travel, I try to do something touristy, or I try to do something specific to that place that I wouldn't normally do back home. And I try to do more than just go to bars and parties. So my plan for Wednesday was to go see the vessel. But we ended up not going because it was supposed to rain all day. And like earlier that month or the month before, they closed down the vessel because 2 people committed side on it. So like if you go to New York City, you can go see the vessel and you can stand in front of it, but you can't get on it. I'm guessing they're planning to add more railing to the structure, but that's gonna take a while because the structure is huge. And we just decided not to go because we were staying in Brooklyn and the vessel is in Manhattan, I think on like the west side. And I was like, I'm not going to go all the way from Brooklyn to Manhattan just to take a picture in front of it. Like I actually wanna go on it. So long story short, we just ended up going to the gym and I went with my friend Walter and his friend Alex to get a fit test. But on the bright side, I got to take a lovely walk through Brooklyn.
I lived in Newport News, but it was just a really close part to Hampton. Okay. I used to work at the Virginia State Center.
I think it's weird he did both. They usually just do one.
He double tapped you.
You did, right?
Yeah.
This is why I don't do that. Like, I hate getting stuff in my nose.
You're probably going to be getting those for the rest of your life. You know that, right?
And this one is recording me.
It's about the experience.
I'm so happy I got my test.
You what?
I got my COVID test. I know.
I'm telling you, that's the best. All you got to do is make sure you go. I would say, like,
Can I do this?
Alright, take photo. It's going to give you 3 seconds.
Oh, okay. Start 3. Ah, dang. The camera was like up there. So then after the gym, me and Walter got ready, we changed, and then we headed out to dinner and then to the Azealia concert. So for dinner, we went to King's Co. Imperial and I had some of the most amazing Chinese food. It was so yummy. If you decide to go, definitely get the soup dumplings. They are amazing. I like soup dumplings, but I realized I don't know how to properly eat soup dumplings. I should probably YouTube that later. Also, by the way, if you go to New York, make sure you bring cash or just be prepared to take out cash, because when we went to the restaurant, their credit card machine was down, so it was cash only. Walter. We are just trying to make it to the function, and it is raining so hard. If y'all don't know who Azealia Banks is, she is the problematic queen. Her biggest record is 212. I'll post it below, but you probably already heard it before. I started paying attention to Azealia Banks in 2014 after she dropped Broke with Expensive Taste. It's literally one of my favorite albums. Azealia can sing, and she can sing really well, and not only that, she can rap just as well as she sings. In 2014, when I started paying attention to her, she was rapping better than the majority of the popular female rappers at the time. But since her rise, she's had a lot of controversy because of comments and statements she's made on social media, and she's also gotten into a lot of arguments with other celebrities. And on top of that, she's been canceled by the internet multiple times. If you want to know more, just go ahead and Google it. The purpose of this video is not to drag Azealia. So anyways, I love her music and I do not believe in cancel culture, so I just had to go see her. She rarely tours and does shows, so I thought this was like my only opportunity to go see her. While we were waiting for her show to start, she actually put out a list of tour dates, and of course, she is not going to Washington, D.C. So it was a smart decision for me to go see her while she was in New York. And lastly, if you're watching this video and you have a problem with me going to see Azealia Banks, just go ahead and drag me in the comments. I don't care. I've wanted to see her for years now, and I finally got the opportunity and I did it. And I'm not sorry about it. Okay, so now on to Hurricane Ida. So when me and Walter went to the concert, it was raining like the entire time. It was raining before dinner, after dinner, before the concert, during the concert, and after the concert, it was raining. It was just raining pretty much the entire evening. I think the concert ended at like 10:45, so we like hung out a bit and then we ended up leaving, but it was raining so hard that we just stood underneath some scaffolding outside. We are just trying to leave the function, and it is raining so hard. We're just waiting to see if the rain lightens up a bit, but after 20 to 30 minutes of waiting, it like does not lighten up. So we just decide to haul ass to the subway. So when we get downstairs, the people down there just seem a little frantic, and then over the intercom, the attendant says that there are no trains. So when the attendant said there was no trains, at first we just thought that specific line wasn't running. And then after that, I pull out my phone and then I see this post from the Shade Room. So after we heard that, me and Walter were just like, well, I guess we gotta catch an Uber. So I pulled up the Uber app and I saw the price tag, and it was $130 to go 6 miles away to Brooklyn. And just like most people, when you see that price tag, you tend to hesitate a little bit, like, there's gotta be another way. I don't wanna pay this $130 just for a one-way Uber. But my friend Walter was a little tipsy and he was ready to go home, so I just ended up ordering it. And after I ordered it, Uber could not find any cars. And on top of that, there were no cabs around either. And major key, if you're in Manhattan and you're trying to go to Brooklyn, not all the cabs go to Brooklyn, but regardless, we couldn't find any cabs anyway. So basically, we were stranded on an island. And this is my first time ever being stranded on an island. And after that, we leave the subway and we are blessed because 1 block away, there's a pizza shop, and I had wanted some New York pizza since the moment I had gotten there. So we hung out there and I got some pizza, and then 2 of the girls who were also at the concert that Walter met were there too. And we stayed there for about an hour, but an hour in, the 2 girls left and said they ended up just getting a hotel. They were like, it made sense because it was only a little more expensive than the Ubers. So shortly after that, the rain lightened up. We ended up walking to Rebar, and as we're walking to Rebar, we passed by like Union Square, and I looked around and there was like a lot of people walking around. Like, I know New York City has a lot of people walking around at night, but this was 12:30 at night on a Wednesday, and it seemed like way more people than normal. I realized we are not the only ones stranded on this island. Like, there's a lot of other people in this situation as well. So it wasn't until the next day that I found out New York City, for its first time ever, issued a flash flood warning, and they shut down all of the trains in New York City. And then because there was so much flooding, the cabs and Ubers could not make it back into Manhattan to drive around and pick people up.
first time in recorded history, the National Weather Service issuing a flash flood emergency for all 5 boroughs of New York City. Western Hemisphere's busiest subway system shut down. Waterfalls pouring down station stairs, trains pulling in to find platforms submerged. People wading through waist-high water. Above ground, stranded cars, and water rescues everywhere.
Anyway, so we hang out, we have another drink. The bar closes at 2, but we are hanging out there until 2:15. And at this point, there's still no trains, no cabs, no Ubers. But at this point, the rain basically stopped and it was just a light drizzle. And I suggest to Walter that we just bike home. I look on a map and from where we're at back to Walter's place was about 6 miles, which isn't terrible. I bike in DC all the time. Normally it's less than 2 miles, but 6 miles like isn't that bad. And on top of that, we literally had no other choice. I will say I was kind of worried about getting robbed because at this point it was 2:30 in the morning and we would have to go over the Manhattan Bridge, and I've never walked or biked over any of those bridges. But there was a huge flood like a few hours ago, so I really doubted criminals were really robbing people at that point. Also, my friend Walter was kind of tipsy and I was kind of worried he would get hit by a car, but it's 2:30 in the morning on a Wednesday and the streets were super empty, so I thought it'd be okay. So since we had no other options, we decided to just bike it back to Brooklyn, and I'm really glad we did because I got to see some beautiful sights. New York is such a beautiful city.
Now.
We are about to bike, taking the Manhattan Bridge. So after the bike ride, we finally made it home at 3 in the morning. The bike ride maybe took us like 35 minutes. It normally wouldn't take that long, but me and him had to keep checking the directions on our phone because biking through Brooklyn is kind of confusing. And thank God our phones did not die because mine was definitely in the red. This is why I do not use battery percentages on the iPhone because they freak me out, and if I had used them during this situation, I would have been even more freaked out. So then I got a little bit of sleep, and the next day I headed home. I had to head to the subway 2 hours early because there were multiple delays the next morning because of everything that happened the night prior, and I didn't want to miss my bus. The thing I want to show you guys is like, so for the metro here, or excuse me, for the subway here, you don't need a subway card. You could literally just use your iPhone if you have an Apple Pay set up. I'm just gonna show y'all real quick. Sorry, I hope I'm going the right way. So I just thought that was really cool because in Washington, D.C., I think you have to have a Metro card attached to your payment, whereas here you just need Apple Pay or Google Pay or whatever. So I'm not sure if I should take local or express. I think I can take express and still make it. Wish me luck, y'all. Okay, so I made it. There are no express trains running, so I had to take the local. Thank God one of the MTA workers was pointing down. He's like, go downstairs, go downstairs. And that is the end of my story and the end of this video. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and pound that like button, pound that subscribe button, and ring that notification bell, and I will see you all next time. Have a good one. Bye.